Hi dear students, in the previous chapter we were discussing about five kingdom classification which was explained by R.H. Whittaker. In that we were gone through a detailed explanation and also understanding of characteristic features of three different kingdoms. Those are Monera, Protista and Mycota. Along with that, some other group of entities, we are not particular about the organisms as they possess the non-living property also. We find out those organisms, those as entities are acellular components and also some group of symbiotic organisms. And we left with Metaphyta and Metazoa as the last two kingdoms explained by R.H. Whittaker. And in today's session, we are going to start with the understanding of Metaphyta, or it is also called as Kingdom Plantae. So here we are going to take up the next chapter called as Kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae, or it is also called as Kingdom Metaphyta. Phyta refers to plant, right? So that's why it is called as Metaphyta. It was present in Carolus Linnaeus classification, Copeland's classification, that is three kingdom classification, four kingdom classification and five kingdom classification also. And in each and every step we are going to identify new group of organisms when it comes to 2, 3, 4 and 5 kingdom classification. But earlier when we find the system of classification from first to the last, from two kingdom system to two kingdom classification to the five kingdom classification, we are able to recognize the presence of plant groups and also animal groups. And now we are discussing about Kingdom Plantae. Now we will start up with the general characteristic features of a Kingdom Plantae. Here we will go through the general properties of Kingdom Plantae. Hage ide continue ಮಾಡಿ ಓಕೆನಾ. So this is about the general characteristic features are properties of Kingdom Plantae. Here when it comes to plant, the word plant, we knowingly or unknowingly came to our mind that is green. Green ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಲರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇನು, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇವೆ when it comes to living organisms, right? So here these are the group of green colored organisms, as they possess a substance called, photosynthetic pigment or coloring pigment called as chlorophyll, which is responsible for imparting green color. And here along with chlorophyll some are accessory pigments. Accessory pigments are also there, and those are called as, first one xanthophyll, next carotenoids, second is carotenoids. We took two examples, xanthophyll and carotenoids. Chlorophyll is the photosynthetic green color imparting pigment. Along with that, accessory pigments will also be there in plants. Those are xanthophyll and carotenoids. Here this chlorophyll is a photosynthetic pigment. As due to the capacity to perform photosynthesis, they exhibit a mode of nutrition called as autotrophism, right? So as they have the capacity to prepare their own food, own food. Along with this, only the group of organisms present on earth which are having the are able to fix sunlight. So here they have the capacity to fix the sunlight. So sunlight ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೂರ್ಯನಿಂದ ಬರುವಂತ radiations, right? Sunlight which is coming from sun, which can be fixed. That is, sunlight is also a type of energy, and that heat energy is converted into chemical energy. So this capacity of conversion mechanism and also fixing capacity will be present only in case of plants. And here, due to the presence of this property, these are commonly called as producers. And we know that this is one of the important ecological role played by plants, organisms like plants, right? So you came to know that they are green colored organisms, and due to the presence of a photosynthetic pigment called as chlorophyll, they perform photosynthesis. Accessory pigments are also there, those are xanthophyll and carotenoids. Due to the presence of capacity to fix the sunlight, they are autotrophic in nature, and they prepare their own food, and they able to fix the sunlight, and they have the capacity to convert it to another form of energy, and that's why they are called as producers. And these will be present in the lower level of food chain. Lower level of food chain. Food chain ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತ organisms, and they are all depend on, so all other organisms are depend on these producers, right? And that's why the major ecological role will be played by plant groups ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. And next, so we found few of the properties, and next we'll come to the property called as, so the cell ಹೇಗಿದೆ, the plant cell, right? Plant cell, as it is multicellular in nature. Here complete any one of the organism which can be made up of multi cells. That's why this is called as multicellular organism, and it is eukaryotic, which possess a membrane bound cell organelles, and along with that nucleus will be present. So here you know that what is the meaning of membrane bound cell organelles, right? So and next, here the cell, when it comes to a structure of a cell, it is made up of a outermost protective layer. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು 8th 9th 10th ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ನೀವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ನ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಔಟರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ protective layer is cell wall, right? When it comes to a cell of a plant, it will be rectangular in shape or diagonal in shape anteli ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and this will become the outermost layer called as cell wall. So this is a more important property, a peculiar unique nature anteli ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So this is considered as a cell wall. And next, due to the presence of these properties, ಅಂದರೆ autotrophic mode of nutrition ನ exhibit ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, so that's why they possess a pear-shaped double membrane structures, which are scattered around the cytoplasm, and those are called as plastids. So this is unique to plant cells, right? So here we are discussing about the difference in case of plant and animal cell. ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. Already we have discussed about Monera, Protista and fungi. We left with plant and animal, right? So here when it comes to plant cell, they possess outermost protective cell layer called as cell wall. To perform autotrophic mode of nutrition, they consist of plastids, which are pear shaped structure and are double membranous. So onduk matra hakirtini nanu. These are double membranous structures. Inside this there will be a presence of photosynthetic pigment called as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, it will be there, and due to the presence of capacity to conduct a photosynthesis, there will be a presence of vacuoles. There will be a vacuole. What is the function of vacuole? I will not able to answer here now because you learnt in 8th standard. Vacuole will be there, plastids are there, and cell wall will be there, and left other cell organelles like plasma membrane, cytoplasm. So ಇದನ್ನೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಇನ್ನರ್ ರೀಜನ್ನ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್, ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ. ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಒಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಗಾಲ್ಗಿ ಆಪರೇಟಸ್, ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ, ರೈಬೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್, ಈ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ is the presence of cell wall in plant cell, absence in animal cell. Plastids are present in plant cell, absent in animal cell, and vacuole will be present in plant cell, absent in animal cell. So these are the only difference in case of animal cell and the plant cell. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ and about the green property. So we'll move to the other next property. So make a pause of this video and write down the notes in detail. So here when it comes to sex organs, dear students, you are very reliable with the words called as sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. When it comes to asexual, there will be absence of sex organs, and majority of the lower organism exhibit asexual mode of reproduction either by fragmentation, spore formation, budding, binary fission, like this. Many different methods are there. And when it comes to the next higher group of organisms which possess advanced properties, they possess advanced properties with the presence of sex organs or gamete structures, particular male and female gamete structures. So these structures will be present in case of the members of kingdom Plantae. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Here the sex organs which are present in kingdom Plantae are male and female. Male and female. Male and female that can be represented in the form of symbolic representation. ಒಂದು 0 ಮೇಲೆಗಡೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಅದು ಮೇಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ಹೀಗೆ ಒಂದು 0 ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಜಾಕೆಟೆಡ್. ಜಾಕೆಟೆಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಔಟರ್ ಕವರಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ, ಜಾಕೆಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್. These are multicellular in nature. When it comes to lower organism, we know that single nucleus will be there and that forms a zygote formation by making a separate cell wall. ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಪ್ಟೇಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಫಂಗೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಿಸ್ಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮೈಕೋಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೆ, and the members of this kingdom Plantae possess a multicellular jacketed sex organs which bears male and female sex organs, and it consists of male and female gametes. Male and female gametes will be there, and these here in case of members of kingdom Plantae possess some of the group of organisms are non-vascular, and few group of organisms are vascular. Based on this property, either based on vascular and non-vascular nature, we are able to classify the organisms which are coming under kingdom Plantae. And one more type of classification is based on seed bearing property or non-seed bearing property. We will take up two different flowchart to understand the vascular and non-vascular organisms and also seed bearing and non-seed bearing organisms. These are the general characteristic features now we have discussed, and we will move to the other properties, that is general classification. Before going to write down the flowchart, here each and every plant, whether it come from lower plant groups or maybe higher plant group, all will exhibit two different cycles or two different stages for the completion of life cycle. And one is haplointic life cycle, haplointic stage, and other is diplointic stage, and this is called as gametophytic stage, and other is spore bearing stage, There will be a presence of haplointic and diplointic stages for the completion of one complete life cycle. One plant adra life cycle na complete ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು stages ಬರುತ್ತೆ. One is haplointic stage and other is diplointic. And haplointic is said to be gametophytic and diplointic is said to be spore bearing. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು? We'll now go through the general classification. Two different types. General classification of kingdom Plantae. Okay, we'll take up the two different criteria to give organisms in different groups. First one, the absence of seed, the absence of seed and the presence. One is absence and presence of seed, and other is non-vascular and vascular property. See, first we'll understand the seed bearing property and vascular property. Say for example, there is a requirement of any one of the part of a plant body for the formation of next generation. If you have a seed, we can expect the presence of next generation. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇಂಗಾ ಬೀಜ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ರಾಗಿ ಕಾಳಿದೆ, ಜೋಳ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. We can able to grow those for the next generation. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಮಾನ್ಸೂನ್ ಸೀಸನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಬೆಳಿಬೋದು. ಓಕೆನಾ? When it comes to the organisms which doesn't have the capacity to bear a seed bearing plant alla. For example, lower organisms like algae and bryophytes and pteridophytes. Lower organisms like algae, bryophyte and pteridophyte. these cannot able to synthesize seeds, and those are said to be non-seed bearing. Non-seed bearing or absence of seeds anteli karitivi. And next group of organisms which are having advanced property, and those are called as those with the presence of seed. Idu one property. And next is non-vascular and vascular property. Here the term vascular, it refers to the presence of conducting tissues. The presence of conducting tissues. Conducting tissues. Here conducting tissues, it refers to the one is water conducting xylem and food conducting food and mineral nutrients, right? So idralli water and mineral nutrients, idralli food anta heltivi. Food conducting phloem. So here xylem and phloem is considered as a conducting tissues, are commonly called as vascular tissues, which helps in conduction of water from roots to other parts of a plant body and from leaves to other parts of a plant body, that is food anteli heltivi. The lower organism doesn't possess these conducting tissues, so that's why they are called as a non-vascular plants, and the organisms which possess these two tissues and are called as vascular plants anteli heltivi. Now we'll get into the flow chart to understand this. Those are, first one, here it is plants, and these again divided into seed bearing and non-seed bearing. Okay, so first one is, here it is no seed, and here it is seeds are present. Okay na? So next one, these are grouped into cryptogams called as cryptogams. Cryptogams. Non-seed bearing are called as cryptogams, and seed bearing are called as phanerogams. Words na neatag pronounce ಮಾಡಿ. Cryptogams, phanerogams. Phanero means phanerogams. Seeds bearing are called as phanerogams. No seed bearing are called as cryptogams. And again these cryptogams are divided into three different groups. Those are Thallophyta, Bryophyta, and last is Pteridophyta. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? So this is about the cryptogams. Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. We'll go through the examples, each and every example later. Next, here it is phanerogams. So here the phanerogams are seed bearing and are of two types. One is gymnosperms, and here it is angiosperms. One is gymnosperm and other is angiosperm. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ನೋಡುವಂತ್ರಿ ಇವಾಗ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಆನ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೀಡ್ we can able to classify the kingdom Plantae into two. One is cryptogams and other is phanerogams. Cryptogams are again divided into thallophyta, bryophyta and pteridophyta. Phanerogams are divided into only two, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms. When it comes to non-vascular plants and vascular plants, depending upon the presence of conducting tissues, we can able to analyze the organisms into again different groups. Here we will take up plants as a major unit. These are plants. Again these divided on the basis of vascular and non-vascular property. Here first one, non-vascular, and here it is vascular. First one, that is non-vascular. These non-vascular commonly called as bryophytes or bryophyta, and previous to this we can able to analyze the presence of algae irutte, but illi ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, the non-vascular plants are bryophytes. Previously we are observed that algae in normal terms and about maybe ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸೆಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕಾಮನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಟು ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ ಫುಡ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ್ವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ಲೋಯರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ನ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. And next one, non-vascular ಆದಮೇಲೆ vascular. These vascular organisms or vascular group of plant kingdom is divided into two. Again we will make a division once again. First one, pteridophyta, and second one, spermatophyta. Again this pteridophyta doesn't have any other classification once again, but this spermatophyta is divided again into two. Those are the same which we have discussed here, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms. Here common photosynthetic group of organisms which are present in the kingdom Plantae, which are lowermost one and are called as algae, and the next group of organisms which are non-vascular and are called as bryophytes. The vascular plant group are also there, and they are divided into two major categories. Those are pteridophyta and spermatophyta. And again this spermatophyta is divided into gymnosperms and angiosperms. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದಿಷ್ಟುನು? Regarding the classification, general classification based on seed bearing and vascular property. So now we'll go to the groups. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಥ್ಯಾಲೋಫೈಟ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಲ್ಗೆ, ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್, ಟೆರಿಡೋಫೈಟ್, ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್, ಎಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್. ಒಂದೊಂದರಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡೋಣ. ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ವಿಡಿಯೋನ. Again it also comes under general classification. First we'll take up thallophyta. Commonly called as division algae. Kingdom Plantae ಆಯಿತು, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಲ್ಗೆ. ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ನು chlorofycia, next Phaeophyceae, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಈ ಎ ಇಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ, ಓಕೆನಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ Phaeophyceae ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ನು Rhodophyceae. Here, depending upon the presence of coloring pigment, the photosynthetic pigment, we can able to find out the different classes: green algae, red algae, brown algae. Chlorophyll responsible for green color, Phaeophyceae which are having the xanthophyll and other important photosynthetic pigment which provides a red color, those are called Phaeophyceae, and last is brown color, that is Rhodophyceae, which all comes under the division algae, commonly called as Thallophyta. Second one, Bryophyta, and this Bryophyta commonly Bryophyta antane kariತೀವಿ. And next, these possess two different type of organisms. So one is mosses and other is liverworts ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆಲ್ಗೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಓದ್ತೀರಾ? ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫೈಸಿಯೇ ಓದ್ತೀರಾ, Phaeophyceae ಓದ್ತೀರಾ, ಮತ್ತು Rhodophyceae ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಾಸಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲಿವರ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನೇ ಕಲಿಯೋದು ನೀವು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಟೆರಿಡೋಫೈಟಾ. In Pteridophyta, these are commonly called as ferns ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೂಡ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, this fern group possess 4 different classes. Those are Psilopsida, ಇಲ್ಲಿ TO ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, T ಮತ್ತು O ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸಿಲಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ನು ಲೈಕಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ನು ಸ್ಫೆನಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ. SPH ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಫೆನಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸ್ಫೆನಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ಓಕೆನಾ, ಸ್ಫೆನಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಟೆರಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ತುಂಬ ಈಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ನ ನೀವು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸಿಲಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ಲೈಕಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ಸ್ಫೆನಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ಟೆರಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ಇದು 4 ಬರೋದು ಟೆರಿಡೋಫೈಟಾನಲ್ಲಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್. In gymnosperms, you will able to learn about the Psychopsida, Nitopsida. ಇಲ್ಲಿ G ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಟಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಓದಬೇಕು, ಜಿ ಅಂತ ಓದೋ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಗ್ನೆಟಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ನಿಟಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕೋನಿಫೆರಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್, ಸೈಕಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ನಿಟಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ, ಕೋನಿಫೆರಾಪ್ಸಿಡಾ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ ಎಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್, we are going to discuss about the monocotyledon. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾನೋಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒಂದು ಡೈಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್ಸ್, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಡೈಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೆ. ಸಮರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಜನರಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಇಂಟು 2 different groups based on non-vascular and vascular property, seed bearing and non-seed bearing property. We have gone through the flow chart. Once again go through that. Then different classes that should be understood properly, which will comes under in which group of division. Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperm, Angiosperms. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಫಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೊಸ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಲೋಫೈಟಾನ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಟೆರಿಡೋಫೈಟಾನ ಫರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರಿಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟಾ, ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪಮ್, ಎಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪಮ್ ಹಾಗೇ ಕರಿಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಥ್ಯಾಲೋಫೈಟಾ ಕಾಮನ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಲ್ಗೆ possess 3 different classes: Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, Rhodophyceae. Bryophyta divided into 2 classes: mosses and liverworts. Pteridophyta is classified into Coleopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, Pteropsida. Gymnosperms, Psychopsida, Netopsida, Coniferopsida. Next, Angiosperms, Monocotyledone and Dicotyledone. So these are the different classes which can be discussed in each and every division of a kingdom Plantae. So idishtu artha agidiyalla regarding classification. Okay, thank you dear students.